a couple of remarks. If you have a question, raise your hand and I'll point you out.
Obviously, a very difficult loss. Angry, disappointed. I can see all the adjectives. If you like a lot of points, I guess you like the game. I didn't like it particularly. It's not the way I like to play football, but hats off to Ole Miss. They made a couple plays at the end they needed to and deserved to win. So, with that, we'll open up the questions.
Wilson.
All right, you talked earlier this week about the defense being just sounding correct and doing your job. So where do you think the breakdown's at?
Did you watch the game? Yeah. Okay. We were in position. We didn't make the plays that we needed to make. I mean, those guys were either one-on-one or, in a position to make a play, and Ole Miss was better.
Was there any consideration of going for it on the 4th and 7 after the Daniel sack in the fourth quarter? No.
Too far. And we felt like you saw, we had a couple other opportunities, right? To score, and we did. And still had a chance to score at the end there. So it just was. It wasn't, in my estimation, it was not the smart play to do it. Golf situation.
Brian, it seemed like there was a lot of dysfunction all over. Coaches getting players on and off the field, play calls, etc. Obviously, alignment, assignment issues, on the field. Can these things get fixed?
Play calling, I didn't see any play calling issues. We felt pretty good about the play calling. We had a situation down by the goal line where we were trying to get goal line personnel, and they play so fast. It's a pretty typical situation where you're trying to substitute some people down on the goal line when they're so fast. And once they see a guy come in, they're going to snap the ball. I think that was probably the one concern that I had, but nothing that I'm going to lose sleep over, other than you just have to be aware when you're going against a fast tempo team and the ball is on the goal line, it's very difficult to get your goal line personnel in.
Yeah.
Coach, it looks like Weeks played a lot more in the second half at linebacker than Omar States did. Do you like the defense better while he's kind of in the middle of it?
There's not much that I could say that would, say that we had a particular feel for one or the other. We were just trying to keep it fresh.
I guess kind of the next question is where do you guys go from here?
We need to be pissed off about what happened, and have some resolve about our circumstance, and that's not a standard of play that's acceptable. And so we'll see how the guys. I expect them to respond the right way. They've got a lot of pride. They play for LSU. They know that that's not the standard, and I expect them to come back Monday ready to, make sure that they address and we address as coaches the things that we need to do better as well. He was terrific. I mean, he threw some incredible passes. He dropped some passes in there that were just terrific. And, obviously we got some great momentum. I mean, I would have liked to have a couple of plays back. We had, you can put it all on the offense and say, listen, if we convert a couple of drives there in the second half, we win the game. It'd be easy to say that and let our defense, they did what they did. Because we had a couple of opportunities to put the game away offensively, we didn't. But having said that, obviously they played well. He played well. The receivers obviously made big plays. We ran the ball effectively. Wish we could have made a couple more plays.
Coach, the combination of the busts and then the missed tackles, can you put your finger on it, or can you explain what's happening?
Okay, one's a true freshman. One's playing for his first time with Terrence Welch ever, you know, on the road. I mean, I could go on. I mean, we're playing with inexperienced young players, and that's who we have. There's nobody else walking through the door. I mean, we don't have another corner. These are the guys that have to play for us. And we have to continue to develop them, and they have to continue to work at getting better each and every week, and that's where we're at. And so we got to keep rolling them out there, and they got to get, you know, thick-skinned, and they got to keep working on tackling. They got to keep working on leveraging the football. They got to keep getting off blocks. And you know, Zay made a couple of nice plays on the ball, got the ball out. We just got to keep working on it, work to get better.
Bryce, coach right here. I know you just mentioned Glenn as well about being pissed off. Is that something that you as a coaching staff are going to go into this weekend and be looking for? And how can you tell that these guys are not getting it? What do you need to see?
Well, they got a lot of pride. I mean, they're not happy. They're upset. I mean, they know what happened out there. I mean, they had a chance to win a football game, and they prepare. They work hard. They want to win, and they, you know, they feel like they let that game get away from them. So, everybody has to respond to adversity, coaches and players alike. It's life. Everybody's going to have to deal with adversity in some manner. And we have adversity in front of us. Let's see how we're going to handle it. I think our guys will respond. And we put the challenge out there, and we'll go to work on Monday.
Coach, you talked about needing to convert a couple more drives. Do you feel like up to you guys were trying to kill the clock too early, or was okay?
No, we didn't have it. We weren't pulling off the gas pedal at all. You know, there were a couple of instances there where, maybe a read here or there. I mean, it was just the flow of the game, really. I mean, look, we threw for a gazillion yards and made a lot of good plays. It was the circumstances of the game. They made a couple of plays, we didn't. It was that close to the game. I mean, it was, you know, a 6-point game, and we got our hands on the ball in the end zone at the end. It was that kind of game. You know, they could be easily sitting here talking about what they should have, could have, would have done. So it was just that kind of game.
Coach, that's time for 2 more.
The run game, just Logan again. It looked like you guys have something there. Do you feel like you should have leaned on it more? I know these are all retrospect questions, but
I mean, I don't. I think that in the big picture, you know, when we look at this game, you know, there's going to be a couple of, you know, series where we felt like offensively, you know, we didn't capitalize, right? And then defensively, there's going to be a host of things, right? I mean, I just know that there's a dozen things that I noted at halftime. So, yeah, I think, you know, when we get a chance to go back and look at it, there'll be a couple of things on offense.
One more, Coach.
Do you think your unit on defense, they sort of responded a little bit better coming out of the half?
Yeah, I mean, we kept them, to 3 in the third quarter. I mean, look, there was some resiliency to the group. It's just, we have a long way to go. I mean, we're going to go back to, listen, we're not canceling the season, okay? We're going to be there, and we're going to work our tails off to get better. And it was gut-wrenching. It was difficult of a loss, and our guys felt it too. And we're going to go back to work, and we're going to work our tails off to get better. And we're going to work to get our offense even better. And hopefully that will be good enough to go up to Columbia and go back on the road in an SEC matchup against a really good football team and get a win. That's all we're trying to get through week to week now, day to day. And that's going to be our focus.
Thanks, Coach.
Mike, we could do them in here, out there.